Hi everybody and welcome back. Interesting few days on Waxwing. If you follow my blogs, you'll see that I had a huge decision over the weekend. My parts are due back today from Alexi, so I'm going to put all my steering back together and get that all back in order, get sailing. And I have decided to sail north. I'm going to sail to Madeira, anchor there, wait for a good weather window and sail to Portugal. I possibly will leave the boat in Portugal and fly back home to get back to work and start earning again, or I could go up along the coast and try get a good weather window for Biscay, but it's very late in the year for that. We'll be into you'd have gales there by now, but I have actually, but anyway. So anyway, that's what I've decided to do. I'm going to sail back to Ireland in spring from north Spain. Do a small refit, not much thankfully to be done, and I'm going to set sail again from Ireland next year to sail solo non-stop around the world. It was getting too late in the year to be heading off, and anyway, it was just too, anyway, you know the rest. I decided anyway, for safety, for everything, for family, I weighed it up. It wasn't an easy decision, but I did it. And I'm glad. I'm actually quite relieved. I have a plan. I'm not under as much pressure. All I have to do now is sail back to Europe. So that would be enjoyable. It'll be against the wind. I'll have headwinds the whole way back because it'll be prevailing northeasterly, usually. So anyway, so that's where I am. So today I always have to be doing something. So I'm servicing the engine today so that it's all, everything's ready by the time I get the parts back and get everything up and running. So that's what I'm at today. Lovely access to my engine here. It's just underneath the middle hatch in Waxwing. I'm going to do a boat tour as well actually when I get to Portugal or wherever I have more time. Because a lot of people said they'd love to see the inside and all my systems and the electronics and all that. So it's a Thornycraft, same as a BMC 2.5 litre. It runs like a clock actually, but it's no harm just to check the oil and filters and top up the water levels and all that. So Alexi just arrived with the parts. I'm delighted now. That actually, you know, obviously goes on to my the rudder stock shaft. These are the new parts he machined. Put a lock nut in under there. So that's the linkage then that will turn my rudder. And so going to get all that back together now today. This afternoon actually, before I do anything, before I eat. That's going back in. I connect up the Raymarine ram back onto the end of that. I'll show you when it's all done. And then test everything. And then get out of here and probably go anchor somewhere if I can. You know, save money and then just wait for the weather and sail to Madeira. The videos will keep going. There's going to be some lovely sailing on the way to Madeira, and then, as I said, there'll be headwinds most of the way to Madeira and to Portugal. But it's only 800 or 900 miles, nautical miles, I think. So a week or so should do it. Please God, all going well. So finally things are happening, and so that's good. I'm sorry, it's so hard to try film this, and anyway, this is the tiller back onto the shaft. The shaft has a keyway in it that this sits into, so I can't move once it's tightened, and obviously I have a tread lock on it as well and all the usual stuff. And then I connect up the linkage onto the box, then the Raymarine ram back onto that. Okay, so that's that much of it back on. Link is on, it's lovely and tight. Sorry, it's lovely and tight. Now just the Raymarine linear drive to go back on, and then rebuild all that. The bulkhead and the rudder sensors, all good, and it's working lovely and free, no play. Back in business, baby. Down in the black hole. I'll be a steering expert by the time this is done, you know. But anyway, it's good to learn new stuff, and like if anything, God forbid, was to go wrong with this again, I'd know it inside out. Now I'd be tempted to replace the whole steering system actually when I get home, if I'm doing a refit. Well, I'll be doing a refit, a small refit, but I don't know. Be nice. So I just washed up and tidied up and got all the oil off. I'm absolutely delighted how the steering system went back together. Not a problem, everything is perfect. Alexi did a brilliant job. All my Raymarine sensors are working. Everything is spot on. So the next thing to do is go to sea and just test everything. So happy days, everything, yeah, hunky dory. So then I was just sitting here having a coffee, happy out, thinking about everything, and I heard this mad I was going, geez. Now there's a commercial port on that side, and that side actually. All the big cruise liners go in the north side. So I went up, and I had to go up and get a video of what was pulling out. I'll show you now in a second. She's leaving. Size of it. The floating city leaves. She's just massive. Unbelievable how big that is. A friend of mine sent me sage, which is a beautiful thing to do. We even had it at our wedding, myself and Kathy. I want to clean the whole boat for setting to sea, and get all any negative energy out and positive energy in. It's a lovely ceremony to do in the boat before you set to sea. All positive thoughts. Get rid of any negativity in the boat. And fill it with all lovely new energy. Clean myself. Get into every corner of the boat. You'd never think I was looking forward to getting out to sea again, would you? I can't wait to get back out. But I know that might seem odd to some people, but it's a nice thing to do, even for yourself, just to cleanse your spirit, or cleanse your body, or cleanse your, I don't know, do whatever makes you happy. That's what I always say, and I like things like that. It's a simple thing to do. I went right through the boat, through my tools, through the steering, through the engine, through everything. So everything's back working beautifully. Full movement again in the wheel. No banging or slapping as I move it. So thankfully that's one massive job done and back in. It replaced all the lines again, actually, on the Aries wind vane. It's extremely windy here today. Murphy's Law. See the flags above. It actually sounds like being at home, because all the masts are clang, 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 and screaming through the rigging. So I've waited this long for the parts and for this and for that. So I suppose another few days waiting for the proper weather won't kill me, you know. Even though you'd be tempted to get going, it'd be silly to be beating into a 4.6, and I'd be going against the wind and current as well, you know. So anyway, so it looks like it's in a few days it settles down and goes back to a more settled weather. It's pretty broken at the moment, but anyway, I've other stuff to be doing. I took the cover off the cockpit. I've everything lashed back in its place. The diesel tanks are full. Everything is ready to rock and roll again. I can't wait. I know I'm not going the way I had intended to go, but just to get out and get sailing again. And, you know, I put so much effort into this boat. Like, it seems a shame just to be sitting in the marina. So that's where I'm at today. So thankfully it's all good news. That's better. I came in out of the wind. The sound would be better. So everything's great. I use Predictwind for my weather. A lot of people ask what I use. I use Predictwind mainly because I have the Iridium Go. So Predictwind is one of the tools I can use at sea. I'll show you what the Iridium Go is. If you know what it is already, you do it. If you don't, it'd be nice for me to explain. So Predictwind is my main weather tool. I check windy as well when I'm in the port and I have Wi-Fi. So it's looking like 4.6 northeast for the next few days, which isn't ideal, obviously. So after that, I think next Wednesday it calms down and goes back to a settled weather period. I have a friend of mine, a local man, a Dutchman living here for 30 years, Gert. He's very kind. So he's a well-seasoned sailor, and he used to be a charter captain, and so he's watching the weather for me as well. So that's nice, because he knows how it runs around the islands and where you get the acceleration zones, and so it's nice to have a second opinion, you know, because I'm glued to it day and night to see what's happening, because I just want to go. Now I was tempted to sail down under the bottom of Tenerife and anchor there, and then go up the far side, go up the west side of Tenerife, and then go to Madeira from there, but I've plenty to do to get ready, and I suppose a day or two isn't going to be the end of the world if I have to wait, you know. So I've waited this long. So here's my weather system that works for me, my weather prediction. If you know what this is already, you know, you'll understand. If not, I'll try to explain it as best I can. First and foremost, what I watch more than anything is my barometer. Whether that's gone up or down, or gone up and down fast or slow, I mean, that's always a really early indication. I have when I have Wi-Fi. I'm like, as in land Wi-Fi. I use Windy. What I love most of all is Predictwind's offshore, because it's connected to my to Iridium Go that has it's like a small sat receiver, and that gives me very limited but essential connectivity. I'd have emails and text messages. It actually makes my phone come alive. It makes my phone work, so I can call and text home through the satellite system. So here's my my prediction for the week, or well, for the next few days, and it just wouldn't be comfortable. 2.5 meter waves, not the end of the world, but it's when I get there. Then if I got there, then it gets really it gets even windier, and you'll be just bobbing around at the anchorage. So I might as well stay here for a few days until it calms off again, because it does Where am I? So it does improve greatly by I think Thursday. And then, interestingly enough, there's a big system coming that if I'm bold enough, I could catch on to the edge of that and get a ride right to Portugal. But it's a bit of a gamble because it's I don't know what's in there. It's like 40, 50 knots, yeah. So anyway, so I have a few days to figure that out. So that's kind of and the barometer is rising slowly. I have a second barometer over there. So that's kind of how I keep an eye on things when I'm at shore or in a marina or when I'm at sea. But Predictwind is reliable. The thing I've noticed about the two of them, and everyone here agrees, all the other sailors that I speak with, is that if you are sailing down this way, keep it on gust. There's two, again, for someone that doesn't understand that, it gives two readings of the wind. One is what it is reading, and like let's say it's 15 knots, but it might gust to 20 knots. Put it on the setting that's gust, because it's always reading. Like I have a wind, I can tell what the wind is reading here, and it's always reading what they predict the gusts will be. So it's just interesting. It doesn't often work like that at home, but it does here. So I keep it that way. That's just how it works for me. It doesn't mean it has to be for everyone. So that's it with the weather. So it's a game of patience now, and just wait and get it right, and vamos. So yesterday was my son PJ's birthday. PJ was 15, so happy birthday, PJ. I'm going to be home. I'm sorry I missed it, but I'll be home sooner now than was planned, so I'll be able to make up for it. So hope you had a lovely day, PJ. So I stopped from what I was doing and decided to have lunch. And here's another good point as well. A lot of people are asking about my food. 90% of my food is all long life, so it'll all last. All my freeze drieds and all the canned foods, they're all good. But anyway, I'm eating for lunch today. These are like, they're ready-made meals. They're lovely. But wrote on the top of this one was, wait till you see this. It says tuna or salmon, I forget. So I presume it was Kathy or John or my sister Helen or someone that was writing took off all the labels and forgot to say what it was. So it's salmon. Oh no, it's tuna. So I get these little notes here and there that from my family when they were packing the food, and they make me laugh. And I think that would be especially funny if I was still at sea, and you know, you'd be laughing and going, who wrote that? I bet it was Kathy's writing, I don't know. Anyway, another lovely morning here in Tenerife. It's windy, so I'm doing jobs today. I'm clearing the deck. I'm fairly sure it's going to be a bumpy ride to Madeira and then Portugal. I'm actually going to look at the forecast now again in a while and see if it's improved or see what it's like. So today I'm going to put in the dinghy below decks and stow it below and get everything I can off the deck. The less stuff that can rattle around and come loose on the deck, the better. Good thing about having a big boat with plenty of room to put stuff away, but as I said, it's much better having all that stuff inside than on the deck. And as I said, I'm going to check the forecast now, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be bumpy, so the less stuff on deck the better. So now, okay, so I downloaded my weather routing from Predictwind, and it has not improved, unfortunately. there's just a massive system coming. I'll show you on this one. Where are we today? Look at this guy coming. Don't want to get caught in that. 62 knots. Now, I'm going to give it a few days. It's always unpredictable that far away, but I might, if that passes up, I might just tuck in behind it and not go to stop in Madeira at all. I could just piggyback along behind it, like back here. If that tracks up. I'll have to wait and see. Our dad taught us well. We all grew up sailing and grew up on the boat. Even the dog used to come everywhere on the boat. But so it's situations like this that I reflect on what Dad taught me. You know, I remember when I was young. I was 12. I had a Shannon 1 design. It's an Irish open boat, a timber clinker built open boat, Gunter's rig. But I was leaving, going to. I wanted to leave to sail. It was on Lough Derg in Ireland, and I wanted to leave to sail to Kilgarvan from Mount Shannon. And my dad said, "No, wait, it's too windy." And I was going, yeah, okay. And I got impatient, and I never disobeyed him, but I left that day before I was allowed to. And by God, did I regret it. I could see this big black line coming down Scariff Bay, and anyway, I got into serious trouble, and I tried to round the boat up to drop the mainsail. There was only one sail in her, and I took a bit of water in, and it scared the life out of me. It terrified me. And there was a lovely friend of my dad's, Brendan Travers. He came along and he took me in tow. And the whole way up I was terrified that my dad was going to kill me. But when he got there, he had a Galway hooker, which was a gaff rigger, and it was slower. So he got in anyway, but he didn't give out. He said, "I hope you learned a valuable lesson." I'm nearly crying thinking about it. And Dad, I did, you know. So today, I'm just so keen to get going, and I'm so impatient. I just want to get going, and I just got that forecast now again, and it'd be stupid to go. So I'm going to just hang out for another few days and wait for that big system to go east, and possibly hop along behind it. But so I'm thinking of you today, Dad, and I learned. Okay, so I made that mistake a few times after that, once or twice only, but I always did regret it. It's just a waiting game now. Just wait for the weather. You know, it's just a big system up there that's coming, and I don't want to get caught in that. Not 60 knot winds. No way. I got caught in that one time in the Med, and it wasn't nice. You know. So if it's behind you, not so bad, I suppose. But anyway, no one wants to be out in that. Because there's a regatta on this weekend, Saturday and Sunday here in Santa Cruz. So I've been invited to go out sailing. So that'll keep me happy for a day or two anyway, and it'll be nice to be part of the regatta and to see all the other boats. I mean, I love boats, I love sailing, so that'll be nice. And it was lovely to get the invite. So that's it for this week in Waxwing, and thanks to everybody for the help and support and advice that I got. And I get an awful lot of messages, and I read them all, so I'm very thankful. So thanks to everybody for liking and subscribing as well. It all helps. And so that's it for this week from Waxwing. So Waxwing out. Have a lovely weekend, everybody.